Does treating your fearful or reactive dog feel wrong? I get this a lot from my clients. I don't want to bribe my dog. My dog isn't food motivated. My dog should want to please me. I don't want to reward the fear. Food is one of the most powerful tools we have for fearful and reactive dogs, and also in general for dog training. And your hesitation, it might be getting in the way of your progress. I'm Jenji Pywell, a certified dog trainer, and I specialize in fear and reactivity. Food and dog training is so controversial. This surprises me because the science is clear, but I hear resistance to it a lot. And it usually sounds like a handful of very specific concerns. So we're going to go through them one by one, and by the end, you're going to feel good about reaching for your treat pouch. Let's start with two that are really about us and not about our dogs. My dog should want to please me, and praise should be enough. Here's the truth. Dogs are not designed to make humans happy. Dogs are designed to make themselves happy. Dogs evolved by hanging around our human settlements and eating food waste and our poop. Dogs at their core are all about food and poop. That doesn't mean your dog doesn't love you. I'm sure they do. But dogs are self-motivated. They aren't going to work hard just to earn our approval. Research backs this up. Studies comparing food, praise, and petting consistently find that food is the only reward that reliably speeds up learning, especially in the early stages. Very few dogs, and honestly, I haven't met one, will reliably work for praise. Now the practical concerns. I always will have to use food, and I have to remember to bring it with me everywhere I go. On the first one, this is a misunderstanding about how reward-based learning works. In the beginning, yes, you're using a lot of food rewards, and it can feel like a lot. But as your dog gets fluent in a skill, you use a more random reward schedule, and that actually makes the behavior stronger. The better your dog gets, the less you have to treat them. We also fade food lures really quickly. Dogs who only perform when food is visible were simply trained that way. So food became part of the cue. That's a training mechanics issue, not a food issue. Your dog isn't a manipulator. You taught them that way. Done right, your dog learns to perform skills without food present. Even fearful and reactive dogs can be faded off of food around triggers over time. On remembering to bring treats, you already bring your keys and poop bags and your wallet. It's just one more thing you have to remember. So if you have a really cool fanny pack, you could put everything in there. A lot of store-bought treats stay really fresh at room temperature, and so you could just leave a bunch of them in your treat pouch. But remember, if you are working with your fearful or reactive dog, you're going to want to use high-value treats like chicken or cheese or hot dogs, and those are going to need to be refrigerated. So this is just one more habit you need to build, and I know you can do it. A lot of people are concerned that their dog is going to gain weight, and that's totally valid. But there's an easy solution to this. During a training plan, feed less at meals to make up for what you're using in treats. Keep treats extra tiny. They can be pea-sized or smaller. You don't have to give your dog huge pieces of chicken or cheese. You could give them the tiniest pieces of cheese, and that's still really valuable to them. Keep training sessions really short. You only have to do training sessions 2 to 3 times a week at most, and maybe 15 minutes or less. So you're not really going to be going through that much food that it's going to make a huge difference in your dog's caloric intake. I hear a lot of people say, my dog isn't food motivated. I hate to be blunt, but if your dog wasn't food motivated, your dog wouldn't be alive. Your dog must eat. But there are 2 reasons a dog might not take food in a training moment. The first one is simple. It might just be the wrong food. Dogs have preferences. Some are pickier than others. Kibble is fine for dinner, but it might not be inspiring enough to learn something new or feel better about something that's really scary for your dog. Don't be offended if your dog doesn't like what you think they should like. Find something they can't resist and watch how quickly their attitude to training changes. The bigger reason dogs don't seem food motivated, and this is very common with the fearful and reactive dogs that I work with, is because of stress. When dogs are in fight or flight, they literally lose their appetite. They can't smell, they aren't hungry, and they can't learn. If your dog isn't taking food, it isn't stubbornness. It's actually really important information. They're telling you that they're over their threshold. They need more distance and less pressure. A really great question that makes me know that my clients are really thinking about learning and thinking about their dog training is when they ask, well, if I train my dog when they're fearful or when they're reactive, am I rewarding that kind of behavior, the barking and the lunging kind of stuff? Again, great question, but you can't actually reward an emotion. Barking and lunging are symptoms of what's going on underneath: the fear, the anxiety, and the overwhelm. If your dog is in full red zone, over threshold, barking and lunging, they're not going to be taking food, they're not going to be learning. Before we can work with a dog, we need to make sure that they're less stressed out, and in that situation, they need more distance. Here's what's actually happening in the brain when we offer a dog food far enough away from their triggers that they know that they're there, but they aren't reacting. Every brain has a fear center and a reward center. When these two parts of the brain are activated at the same time, they compete, and the reward center can actually win. When we follow this specific order, the dog notices the scary thing and then is given a high value reward. Over time, the dog's brain starts filing that scary thing under good things happen when I see this thing instead of danger. And that barking and lunging behavior is going to be reduced. We aren't feeding fear. We aren't rewarding it. We are changing it. The same goes for reactivity, over arousal, and over excitement. Food is amazing. Food is affordable. Food is accessible. And it's scientifically proven to support learning in your dog. It helps dogs in fight or flight change to a state of rest and digest. It tells us whether our dogs are calm enough to learn. It motivates them. It rewards them. And it helps them feel good. It isn't a cop-out. It isn't spoiling. It isn't manipulation. It's just how dogs learn best. Do you go to work for free? Neither should your dog. If you have a fearful or reactive dog and you're not sure where to start, I'd love to connect. You can book a free 15-minute training call at genjipaiwill.com. No pressure to buy, just a conversation about your dog and what might be helpful. Research references for this video are linked in the description below. If this was helpful, please comment below and please share it with someone else you know who has a fearful or reactive dog. Until the next one.